Welcome to another show of Mr. 5 Productions, where we bring you the talented around Charleston, South Carolina. Today I have one of my oldest and dearest friends from back in the day, all the way from Piedmont, Ashley Avenue. During those days, back in James Simmons, Rivers, and Burke High School, and college days. He is also one of the people who I can honestly say is more of a gamer than me. And he also is a video production major, formerly from South Carolina State. And have some fraternity, what's the fraternity, the term?
Freemasonry.
Freemasonry and?
It's Kappa Pi.
So yeah, so he has a long history with me and also a lot of us around Charleston, South Carolina. I bring you the most notable and creative man right now, Branden Rouse. Round of applause, round of applause.
I feel like there should be applause for that.
I'll add that in post.
Whenever I die, wherever I go, I need you to introduce me.
Today we bring to you the man, the legend, Branden Rouse. He was a good man, he was a dear man, but he's gone now, so let's party. But still, I know this man for a very long time, and honestly, I did not know he was going to be this creative, writing 3 books and about to start on his 4th one right now. But tell the people a little about yourself, Branden.
Well, born and raised, Charleston, South Carolina, right around the corner from Eric. Grew up together. I've always had a creative mind. I've always had these stories in my head. It wasn't until, middle school where I started writing them. Fell out of it, got back into it in college. Once I graduated, I started getting back into it again. And I was able to, with the help of some friends, pushing me, self-publish my own books. So, a little bit more about me. College, I did digital media, some teaching. I work with the disabled. I do a lot of different things around Charleston. It's a lot. It's a long list now that I think about it. Hearing you talk, I was like, I did all this.
Now, one thing that a lot of you who do know Branden know, he is a very sarcastic person and nonchalant.
Not at all. Sarcasm is not even in my vocabulary.
But believe me when I say this man here, he does care, but at a point he's like, you know what, I just don't care no more, leave it alone. But one good thing I can say is that he's a very good friend. Now, let's get on to the interview part, is basically, what made you start out, what is the inspiration for the first book, Powerless? The first book.
The inspiration for, well, actually, it's a series, but the inspiration, the lack of black people in sci-fi, and not even the lack of it, it's how we were being treated in sci-fi. You know, we're either the token, we're always the token. The comic relief, the first to die, the sole black person in that town, city, or universe. And I just got sick of seeing it. So I kind of reversed it. So my books, none but black people. Sprinkle of white people's here and there.
Hello, pepper.
Little white pepper. That's actually a thing. Little white pepper sprinkle, if you will, for non-seasoning. Inside joke. But yeah, that's it. And the story actually stopped multiple times because, as creative as I am, all I have is a story and the characters. I didn't know how to. I'm not good with descriptions. So, 2 of my good friends, Mouse and Rel, Shanice Greenaway and Jarrell Richardson, his cousin, are the 2 main characters, the main protagonists of the books. And that's when knowing them helped me start these books really, because it wouldn't have gone anywhere if I didn't know what the characters look like. And that was the biggest thing racking my brain.
So honestly, you can literally say that your real life characters were the ones that really push you to making this series come to life.
Yes, because the characters are based on their personalities.
Okay.
Like if you were to read a book, you know Jarrell. You'd be like, this is this is something he would say.
I only read book 1 and 2, and that was like some years ago. But when I first read it, I'm like, yeah, that is my cousin. In fact, I think you made him look nicer in the book.
A little bit.
And I hope Jarrell sees this too and make a comment on it.
It's more so I use their personality traits, basically. It's them in likeness and personality, but the characters are in their own situations.
Okay.
So even for most books, I'll call them and be like, hey, if you were put in this situation, what would you do? What would you say? And then I'll just put that in the book because it's from them what they would say. For the most part, these situations in these books are from real life, just with a sci-fi twist to it.
So like basically the real situation with enhanced powers.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
The Batman Green X-Men.
No, we're gonna stay from the Marvel too. Team DC. But it's my baby.
Okay.
You know? And there was something where people have told me, not black people, but people of our photo negative complexion have told me, Caucasus, have told me that I should add more diversity to the books. And you only hear white people talk about diversity when they're not included in something. So to explain it to people, these are my babies. You can look at them, you can read them, you can love them, you can hate them. I'm not going to change anything about them to make anybody else happy because they're mine. If, for example, if you had a daughter and your daughter, you think your daughter's cute with pigtails, and someone walks up to you, you don't even know this person that says, you should change her hair. I think she'll look better with this. Would you change it?
I'll tell them to get the hell on because this ain't your family.
Exactly. And that's the same thing with my books.
Okay.
You can read them, you can like them, you can love them, you can hate them. But at the end of the day, they're going to be the same way. They're going to be pure from my imagination, and that is it.
Okay. So now, just these 3 books, I know you got a full one on the way. When is that coming out anyway?
I try to release my books every year by my birthday, which is July 25th. Powerless is going to be a 10-book series.
But I was going to ask that, but go ahead, yeah.
So it's 10 books all together to complete the entire story. 3 are only 3 are out now, and the 4th one will be out this year, hopefully, on my birthday. Yeah, it's an entire universe. I already have, like, the way I write, I don't write in order. So I wrote the 2nd book first, then I wrote the 1st book, then the 3rd book, then the 5th book, then the 4th book, then the 7th and 8th book, came back to the books before, edited some stuff, then I finished up.
So basically, you're trying to make sure that there's no continuity errors in it.
That, and because the way my mind works, I already have the whole story in my head. I just have to write it down before I forget.
Okay. So now tell me this. Is there going to be any kind of film adaptation that you plan on doing?
I would love to do... Alright, because the books and characters are based on real people, I think it would be better to do an animated series, only because they can be voice actors. I'd love to have my friends voice their characters and have them make money that way, you know? I don't believe in just doing something by myself. If I blow up Shoe Weight, we all blow up Shoe Weight. We all reach the top together, you know? But I'm not one of the people to carry anybody. So you have to work just like I'm working. That's what I'm saying. Like if we can do voice acting and get them paid that way or something like that. We also have a video game we're working on that's in pre-development right now. It's going to be a fighting game based on the characters and stuff like that, and it's going to take you through the stories as they go along.
So I'm guessing you got some indie game developers right now in the works?
Yeah. We're working on payment because that's the
expensive part.
That's the expensive part. It's very expensive. These are things I wish I could do myself, but you can't do everything by yourself.
Okay.
I mean, you need a team, and I've been blessed with like a great team with great friends and great supporters like yourself. And I'm also proud of you for everything you're doing.
This show's about you.
True, but exactly, but it's your show. It's my episode. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
my episode,
feature, yeah.
But it's your show, man, and I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. Now tell me this. Now you keep saying anime. What is your favorite anime? And hopefully nobody gets offended by this.
I never said anime. This is interview. Favorite anime?
I'm automatically assume his favorite one is gonna be Dragon Ball Z, but only the Dragon Ball Z because of margin.
It's not.
Okay.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
I've never watched it.
You suck.
I only watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yu Yu Hakusho is my all-time favorite
anime. Digimon.
Next up would be, well, it's a list of like Bleach, Case Closed, Paranoia Agent, Fooly Cooly, Oh man, I like some weird stuff. Black Butler.
Seen that.
Those are some good. Those are some of my tops.
What about
And
Death Note?
Of course, Gundams. It's always the Death Note. I like Death Note. I really like Death Note.
Cause honestly, like the way that you write, I honestly would say Death Note would be like a sort of like a something that you probably would base something on one day if you wanted to.
I've thought about doing adaptations to things that already exist, but I hate when people do those. I mean, if I were to do an adaptation to something, it would have to be its own story.
Okay.
I hate reboots, remakes, and stuff like that. I don't hate them. It's just too much. It's too much at one time. You know, there's not enough people trying to create something original, and that's even though my books are in a category of superhero books, they're just regular people. Excuse me. They're just regular people put in situations where they have to go above and beyond. No one's wearing costumes. No one's doing the whole secret identity things. These are just people living their lives. Shit goes haywire and they have to do what they do.
Now, as you see, we're being very vague with the story. So just if you want to, would you like to, give us like a quick Spark Notes synopsis of 1, 2, and 3 so far.
Okay. Well, the first book basically starts off with the two main characters that'll appear through the entire series, Essence and Marcus Samuels. Now, Essence, that's just her name, just Essence. She's not married to Marcus or anything like that. Marcus graduates college, tries to find his place in the world where he doesn't belong, and the title of the book's Powerless goes deep into the story. Each of the main character, Marcus and Essence, have a power that makes them basically feel powerless. Marcus can sense where other people's abilities are, and Essence can turn invisible. That's all they can do so far. So at the beginning, Essence is an assassin. She's a bodyguard assassin. She uses her ability for things like that. So she's grown used to it. She's built up herself to be more than just her ability. Marcus is the complete opposite. You know, he feels useless. He feels like it's a waste of time trying. So them getting together, they feed off each other. You know, Essence helps Marcus grow up. Marcus helps Essence cool down a bit. The second book is the right continuation, taken 6 months after the events of book 1, dealing with the child here, Orchid. I'm not going to tell you too much about her, but the series villains are in the back. Moses and his girlfriend Echo, who is the main baddie throughout the series. Third book is actually a prequel to book 1. This is the life of Essence and Echo growing up. So I don't want to give too much away. I've already said too much. It's a good read, I will say that. If you like action, read my books. If you like drama, read my books. You like comedy, read my books. You like sci-fi, read my books.
If you like anything, read the book.
Basically, a lot of theming in here.
Motifs, my gosh.
So,
So, other than just the books, is there any other avenues that you would try to pursue?
Mainly my focus has been the books. Different aspects of the books, like finding an animator to help me make a series, have the game team to do the game. Avenues. I mean, I am working on starting a summer program for kids to teach them how to write, so they can publish their own books. The program would basically start with them coming up with an original story and me helping them work it out and then publish it at the end of the term, so they can have something to their name, something firm. They can say, this is mine, I wrote this when I was a kid, it's published, I'm a published author at 10, you know?
Get them a little book signed, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, you know? And it wouldn't be a lot, you know. The majority of the money we would ask for would go towards lunch, supplies, and the publishing fees from the parents. That's about it.
Yeah. And it will instill in them something that, unlike a book, they won't feel powerless to get their story out there.
And I don't want them growing up thinking that in order to be successful, you have to take something that's already successful, that's been done before, and redo it. Because that's what the world is now, you know. People rebooting series and taking ideas that are already done and just word for word copying it.
Okay.
You know, it's okay to make superhero stuff, but create your own superhero. It's okay to make movies that are an ode to things that you love, but create your own version. Don't just go word for word and scene for scene and name by name. Change it around, something.
Now, I'm not sure yet, but what would you say if your books have been accepted into the accelerated reader program in schools?
My books are not for children. Or church. That's a funny thing that happened. Some friends, some really supportive friends, she was a teacher. She read my book to her class, and she said she stopped halfway through reading because she read ahead in her mind, and she was reading and she stopped, and the kids wanted to finish. She was like, let's get back to work. And then there was an older woman who bought my book to support me, and she read a paragraph in church, and it was bad.
Did she not even like
no
read ahead?
Most people don't.
They just thought, oh, it's Branden. I'm not.
Yeah. Most people don't. They have this preconceived notion of how I am or who I am, and they just assume the books are so friendly and kiddie and loving, and there aren't any curse words. When literally the second page, it's despicable. I'm kidding. Third chapter, but it's a lot. It's a lot that isn't me. Like I said, I'm not in my books. These are just the stories that I have in my imagination that I wanted to put to paper. So these situations and these people, none of them reflect me at all. You know, these are just characters and stories.
Now, will you ever add yourself into the book?
Never, because I'd be too OP.
Come on.
I don't think people should add themselves into the stories. I'd do like a cameo. If I do an animated or like something serious, something like that, I'd have myself in like the background, like pointing and looking like, oh man.
I mean, or probably be like the Matrix when they find out that, hey, you're the person in the white room, you're the creator.
See, that's already been done. I wouldn't want to do that. I would feel cheesy. I feel like that would take too much. I am, however, I'm doubling back to what you were saying earlier in my work and anything else. I am part of a collective of black creators called Rouse.
Okay.
And we are basically a small group of people who have work out. You know, we have Jay from Sick Comics. We have Jim Sweeney, who has written My Lawyer and I. We have Greg, who's done Keys to Zodia. And it's just a lot of us coming together to basically build each other up. You know, and Rouse stands for Reality as We See It. Because it's nothing, all of our books, we're black creators and we create a lot of black content. I'll say it like that. So I just wanted to plug them for a minute.
Go ahead. So, other than, okay, so what platforms are your books on right now to sell?
Amazon and Kindle.
So you made the electronic age right now, okay?
Yeah, so all my books are on Kindle. They're half the price. Some of them are cheaper if you won't want the paperback. You can go to stores like Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, have them ship the book there and order it that way. Or you can do the easiest way and just message me directly and get a signed copy shipped out to you.
So, who is your favorite character in your whole series? I take a lot of guess.
Who?
Essence. I was gonna say
now,
but nah.
Out of the books that are released now.
Well, let's do a two-part question. Who is your favorite character in the series altogether in the books, but your favorite character in real life?
Alright.
That means you gotta choose a friend.
The favorite character from the book series altogether. I don't want to ruin anything by giving anything away, so I'll use the secondary one. It's two. It'll have to be. It's definitely a tie between Essence and Echo.
Okay.
You know, that real good versus that real bad. Real life, easy. Orchid is based on my goddaughter.
Okay.
Violet. So, yeah.
That's very biased right there, but I understand. She's cute.
So,
But
you had me.
Nah.
Thought you had me for a second, didn't you?
I mean, I already knew you wasn't gonna choose Jarrell. But
Actually, I really like Marcus's Jarrell's character. Like, writing him, there were so many chances for me to be petty, but it didn't go with the story, so I was a little bit.
yeah,
still.
honestly, I must say, my cousin, he gives you a lot of material.
Yeah, like, really. The whole first book.
If only you knew the stories behind
Like,
that character.
but yeah, that's very true. That's not even a joke. The majority of situations are from things Jarrell has done, said, or experienced.
Honestly, if you could do a spin-off on your characters,
I do have spin-off series planned because there are some side characters that people love. So I was gonna do like one-shot stories just to delve into them a little bit. It wouldn't be a full novel. It'd be like a little comic version, you know. So.
but just know, if you ever do a spin-off, I'm buying that one, the whole series before it even comes out, because I can help you write, and I can.
It wouldn't be about any main characters.
Okay.
Only side characters.
Well, if you ever did something just or stuff on him, I know a lot of stuff for him.
I already have everything written down. Like I said, I already have the story from book 1 to 10 already pinned out. And
Storyboard and everything?
Yeah, everything. I just have to write it out and flesh it out more.
Now, as I see right now, because you said Orchid, you said Essence, Echo, I hear a lot of woman empowerment. Was that what you was going for?
Not really. I just wrote the characters. I mean, the thing is, it's when people create a character, they usually create a stereotype of that character. When people make a black character, he's usually from an urban environment or Africa or something like that. He speaks slang, had a hard life, you know.
Somebody died.
You know, he has dreads, or is it? No, it's
somebody he knows did drugs.
You know, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to create a character from a stereotype. That's why I use real people. I'm not stereotyping these characters. This is how Jarrell looks. This is how Mouse looks. I mean, this is how Orchid looks. This is how Derek and Debbie look. These are just how my friends look. You know, so I don't ever want to hear that, well, your black characters don't look black. They are black because they're real, based off of real people.
I mean, we have different skin tones.
We come in different, there are more than one shade of black people. And like for book 3, I was able to do a multitude of like different characters on the back, and these are all based off of friends of mine, you know, diverse people. So
there's only one friend I don't see back there.
But
not me. Not me. I'm talking about the other friend.
But they're yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
You know, I try to stay as true to them as possible, and I don't like, because the stereotype thing gets me, man, like constantly. For women empowerment, I wrote strong characters. I am so happy that women love them. Like, I've gotten messages from women and stuff like that who have read my book and told me they love the characters, they love how she's not ghetto and this and that or stuff like that. I'm like, oh well, thank you. I mean, she isn't ghetto in real life. you know, it's just that. It's not something that I went in saying I'm going to create the most empowerment of women and this and that. I want all my characters to empower somebody. I want all my characters to feel like they can be a part of them, or they can be great. They don't have to be these larger than life characters. They can be simple characters with regular jobs, or like kids, you know, parents. There's regular people in my book with no powers who do amazing things. You know, I want everybody to feel like you're special. You know.
Now, last 3 questions.
Okay.
Powerless. How did you come up with that title?
As someone who suffers from massive anxiety, I have always felt powerless. You know,
I've never seen this part of him though.
It's always been something about me. I felt like I couldn't do something or be. So I just wanted to reflect that in my series. You know, the main theme about all my books is the characters are placed around people who have amazing powers, who can do amazing things, and they're still going toe to toe. You know, they're still able to keep up with them. Their power, your special ability doesn't have to define you. You can be great doing anything. So, yeah.
Now, honestly, I can say this right here. Even though one thing I can say about Branden is I never really see him be powerless, because this young man right here, well, now we old now, but this guy right here, anytime he said he was gonna do something, he did it. So he was gonna get himself a house, he did it. This man here can put his mind to a lot of stuff, and he just does it. And I be like, okay, I look like him. There's plenty of times that I look up to him for inspiration on a lot of things.
It's a front. I cry a lot. I achieved my goal, but there's a lot of pain and suffering that goes into it. And that's what you really don't see. There's a lot of stuff that I have to deal with that I push to the wayside or don't show. And I just show you guys the end result. Like you don't see B to Y, you just see A to Z.
So tell me this, man, and now this is your final two. Your favorite moment since you wrote these books. I was going to bring out one incident, but you said not to, so I'm not going to do it.
I don't even remember that incident.
Comic-Con.
No, one of my favorite moments, and I will never forget this for as long as I live. It was when my second book came out. I was in a GameStop. I had my hat down, and this guy recognized me, ran to his car, brought book one for me to sign in GameStop. And that, I didn't know this guy, he didn't know me. He said apparently he recognized me from like the YouTube, which I also have a YouTube. I didn't think any of that stuff was working, and that's because I was about to quit it. And that one person walking up to me, little Mexican, no, he looked Hispanic. You know who he looked like? The guy, you ever saw Coach Carter?
Yeah.
The Hispanic guy that got kicked off the team and then had to do all the suicides. He looked like him, but he looked like him with less feature. He looked exactly like him.
You tell me he had on a puffy coat?
No, it was hot. Like he had the white shirt and everything. He was like, "Yo, is this you?" I was like, "Yeah, it's my book." He was like, "Yo, can you sign this for me, please?" He signed it, and I was so proud. I forgot to take a picture with him. I've never had that happen.
You literally had yourself an Xbox achievement trophy moment.
Yes. The whole reason I wear my hat and stuff is because to hide who I am, to fade into the background, so I'm not seen a lot, and that's how he even recognized me. So that backfired completely. Well, it was for good, but it was for good. Like that was one of my proudest moments that I'll never forget.
Okay, so as you can see, he's a very accomplished author. He got six more books coming out right now. One coming out in September of 2020. I'm sorry, July of 2020.
Hopefully July.
So hit him up. Hit him up on his Facebook, social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It will be all in the bottom of the show, in the descriptions. But just for they can hear it, how can they reach you?
Well, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Powerlessbybr. It'll show up on the screen. He'll edit it in right here.
Yep.
Powerlessbybr. And just message me Instagram. I have my team that work on my social media and stuff for me. But most of the times you'll get me. You know, I'm not higher up on the celebrity scale just yet. You know, to the point where I got a team where y'all don't see me. But you can message me. I'm happy to talk to you, answer questions, ship books out. We have a coffee coming. We have a Patreon coming up to help fund the game because it's expensive. And I pay for everything out of pocket. I don't like asking for handouts, so it took me a while to get to the point where I can do the Patreon part. But I figure if enough people really want it, you know, they'll help to put towards it.
Now, hopefully that game will be on PS4 exclusive, but I understand.
PS4 and Xbox One. That's the engine we're working with.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a fighting game, but it's also going to go through the entire story. So if you don't like to read, which you'd be surprised, I don't. You can do it that way. We also have audiobooks coming out. We're doing a lot. Me and my team are doing a lot.
Well, thank you so much, man, for joining me on the show.
Of course, bro.
And hopefully he'll come back on again, probably as a guest host, maybe doing a whole episode with just him doing something, interviewing somebody else. Cause I would love you to have some of your author friends like Latarin come on here and she would do. And honestly, I think she would respond better to you in interviewing her author to author.
We could do that.
But thank you so much for joining us on this show of Mystified Encounters on this feature today. Stay tuned next time, and remember, discover yourself, because if not, who will? You have a good day.
Also, go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go, 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 go.
I'm going to have that on